blame, you mad it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Marrying it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself up back before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Marrying it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself up back before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Taking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'm killing every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Marrying it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself up back before the bull run. Some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Marrying it with EMP and then I'm NOP. Gotta get myself up back before the bull run. Gotta take some shit, stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, and I am the team lead here at EMP, and I am so happy to be back. Had a great few days with the family. Hopefully all of you enjoyed some time off as well, away from the crypto world or looking at charts while you celebrated whatever it is that you celebrate. We're happy to be back. We're going to do a little bit of a recap AMA today, and then probably not an AMA tomorrow. Or New Year's Eve. I know a lot of us are going to be tied up with the festivities, but we'll have a full AMA scheduled starting 2023 as we kick off a big year for EMP. So happy to have all of you here. As always, I'm joined by my co-hosts with the most, both Bull Gates and LA. Bull and LA, how are you guys?
Yawn. I'm just coming out of hibernation. But on a brighter note, YouTube is feeling very generous because they just offered me a free month of YouTube Premium, if you can believe it. Very nice of them.
Awesome, man. No doubt.
I got 3 free months.
They like you better.
Oh, there you go. Bull, you got to catch up, man. Yeah. So awesome, guys. Well,
okay, fine. I'm going to get that offer on 6 accounts so that I get 6 free months, if we can really look at it like that.
Oh, yes. Well, let's support YouTube because, as you know, we are now monetized on YouTube. If you follow our socials, I made a post about it yesterday, but the end of the year payment finally came through. We did about just under $400 in ad revenue in, again, being a YouTube partner now. We are all officially YouTubers, and all of that money will be going to buying back EMP. And we've again documented the wallet. You can keep track of it. That will be initiating those every few months when it accumulates. So it's not a lot right now, but it can be again another substantial revenue stream as we move forward. So even more of a reason why, again, LA and Bull, make sure you get your YouTube subscriptions. Everybody watching, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's support.
I don't think I want to get the subscription because like the ads play mostly through the AMA on YouTube, and I just have it on mute anyway. So
that's true.
It's probably half of my ad revenue from all these ads that I just keep letting play on all my devices. But that's all good, friend. Like I'm happy to do it because I'm a firm believer like in building in the bear, and I think any YouTuber that has gained an audience over the past, let's say 4 to 5 years, the people that that stuck around or started after that last bull run in 2017 2018, and I can name a number of them, started out with nothing, no subscribers, but they just kept on plugging along through the bear market. And now are some of the biggest YouTubers out there in the crypto space. So I think, where you said it's slightly under $400. I think the bigger goal is that, and this is based on, from what I've heard from a lot of people, that they like listening to this, be it if they're driving or if they're working out or whatever it might be. There's some reassurance, about the platform to hear, you talk about things, LA talk about things, and it makes them feel like comfortable and like,
For sure.
like truly part of the family to be in there. And that's a really, it is like, we're all kind of creatures of habit, right? We like repetition in our life, even though it can be monotonous. But the point is that as long as we keep building here in the bear market, bigger and brighter things are like on the horizon, for that bull market. But we don't, obviously you don't want to be, there's a good number of YouTubers that are only broadcasting in the bull market, look like geniuses, but then disappear in the bear market. But, we're here every single day, like you said, building, talking, be it via text, be it on the phone, whatever. We're always talking to people in this protocol to make sure that, the voice of the community is heard.
Yeah, no, great point, Bull. And again, I mean, that's one of the major reasons I attune, the success of EMP is to use the daily AMAs. I mean, again, we may skip a day here or there, maybe every other day, maybe every third day, but by and large, I mean, we've done, about what, LA? I think you did the math, like about 340 AMAs over the last year or something crazy like that, if you include the multiple days we did more than one AMA. So yeah, I mean, we always want to be fully
Yeah.
transparent. We want to, and it's not a matter of like always telling you what you want to hear. It's just a matter of, being as transparent as we can, answering questions, being open. I mean, what other protocol do you get first level access like this to the actual team members and developers? I mean, I can answer that. Not many. So that will always be the case. It will always be the vision. Again, even through our academy, now that we have some upgraded versions through what Bull is offering, some paid courses, we'll always still have the free elements as well, so that money is not a barrier to entry of actually educating yourself not only about crypto but about EMP in general. So yeah, we're excited for what 2023 has in store. Again, we'll be doing more updates on that as we go. Jake has a ton on his plate. Our lead dev, we're working on bringing on more devs. Again, we have devs that we have as far as contract workers, but we are even looking to maybe add another dev to the team, just based on how much work we have coming out. So all that will be again
I think
unveiled.
your
Yeah.
microwave burrito might be ready to go, AJ.
It is, man. That's it. Yeah, we had to eat while we can, right? No, so we're good. It's no more background noise, hopefully. Well, and my daughter, I don't know, you may hear her in a minute. It's about now that she gets a little fussy. So bear with me as we go through this. We'll make it short and sweet, with just some last minute updates.
Ah, that was a bottle alarm. Okay.
It was, yes, exactly, Bill. Yeah, I had a warmer bottle ready to go. So yeah, all right, let me start off by just doing some recaps, and then, again, Bull or LA, if there's anything you want to add, feel free to interrupt me, and then we'll take some questions, at the end, and then wrap it up. So that'll be our typical AMA, timeline here. But the first thing up is up, pun intended, the first thing up is Up EMP, the launch and success. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, we did partner with the Up Financial Protocol, Up Finance, again, um, Nick or NB from Grape, as well as Jason Baxter from Warfi, two major players in the space. They partnered now on a new protocol called Up Finance, and they are offering their Up code as a service, just like we do with Detonator. And so we're happy to say we were the first official Up partner with them, and it's been going smashingly. I mean, there's already over 1 million EMP backing that treasury, and it's already been almost an 8% price increase from launch. So there is taxes involved. Again, it's 8% in, 8% out, and the majority of those taxes go to not only burning EMP, but actually backing the Up EMP treasury with basically over collateralizing the EMP that's in there, and that's what allows this token to always appreciate in value. So we did a full AMA with them. Please go back and watch that AMA. We have really awesome visuals and graphics, and we go over it step by step that really shows how the economics work on that. But the long story short is, again, if you got in early, you're almost completely free of the entry taxes. And we have plans on adding not only a bunch of major use cases to Up EMP, but also utilizing some things to incentivize some of you to actually take profit in Up EMP. And most importantly, those of you that are already in, you may feel like, well, I missed the launch, I don't want to get in now, I'm too late. Well, we are going to be doing weekly, well, monthly, if not weekly, I'm shooting for weekly, buybacks or injections of the treasury into Up EMP. So not only will this help the price increase, again, based on volume, but it's also a great way to lock up even more EMP in that contract. So we have a lot coming with that. Again, if you have not gotten into Up EMP yet, please do. And we will be seeing a lot more of it in the future as well. So again, really exciting stuff coming. Buller LA, anything you want to elaborate on that? I know it can be a little confusing on the surface of how the economics work, but once you kind of wrap your head around it, it's so beneficial because, again, it's just another way to reward those of you that hold, get in and hold. It's a long-term play, and it's a way to kind of tax EMP without it being, a native tax, which we've said all along that we're not big fans of. So, yeah, I don't know. Buller LA, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I won't speak to Up, specifically, but generically, I think, and I've probably went on and on about this, so I'll be succinct. But any time that we can find use case outside the ecosystem, it's going to be really beneficial inside the ecosystem. Does that mean it's going to show up the benefit shows up right away? No, but ultimately, when other people build onto the ecosystem and get more exposure, more people looking over here, that's, it's going to be a positive thing. But like anything, it does take so I think there's that measure in crypto where everything happens really fast. So there's that element of, kind of what I call the streaming mentality or the fast food mentality where, people want that instant gratification, and that's great, but that's not always going to be the reality. Sometimes it is just going to be that slow churning effect, like in this case, to give it another use case to build up the value through use case outside of the ecosystem. And I think because crypto tends to be kind of that hype-driven competitive thing, which can be a good thing. I think other protocols, when they see Up partnering with EMP, they're like, I'm going to check this out. I've heard of the AJ guy. Let's check this out and see if we, can somehow build onto the EMP ecosystem and it benefits our community. And I think that's the good thing about, launching, especially with, good projects, good protocols, the people that have that long-term vision of, not, how should I say, having that lottery mentality, that 100x overnight, that we're slowly building for that bear market where, we can all see those gains. And so I think the more people more protocols that we get in, the more individual investors we'll see here as well. The more competition we'll see amongst other protocols to actually build onto the ecosystem itself. And that's the real big picture of the benefit that I really see. And, we obviously, like I've said before, when a protocol starts out day one, how do you convince somebody that the protocol is going to survive, and why should they pair up their ETH with an unknown token? And I think everything that AJ has talked about, he's delivered on, and people have seen really good rewards throughout the 11 months of of the life of EMP here. And are the APRs lower than people want right now? Sure, everybody wants higher ones, but by and large, I think if we go back and we look at all of those APR, like the APR cumulatively, right? Because that is something I think that tends to get lost on people, like that APR or yield that we tend to look at and see like what's right in front of our face, instead of that cumulative, that over the year, that over that 365 days, what was the actual yield? What have I been able to put aside in dry powder, in BUSD or USDC or something stable. And I think that's a question that I think more people need to ask, instead of just saying, well, the APR is low right now, but for 5 months, like in the eShare BNB farm, it was 2% or something similar to that. And so we have to be like really more diligent about tracking the day to day about what that actual yield is, and not get lost up in the day to day, but look at the bigger picture, stepping back and looking at that whole picture from the beginning, into 2023, and saying, okay, like where am I at over the course of a year, not just over a week or, a month, but to be fair to yourself and to every project, really that's building on here, that we have to have that longer roadmap of where we want to get to and what's the best way to get there. And is it a drag race? No, of course not, right? It is that slow marathon with that crank up car, kind of back in the day, and you're just chugging to the next town, and just earning a little bit, and then when we get to that bull market, like you have a whole suitcase full of LP, and you're like, oh wow, okay, I have a lot more than I thought, because I was just looking at it from the perspective of deep in the bear market, and kind of being depressed about it. But I think ultimately the people that have been diligent and aware, that they know that they're not just making 0.17 a day or 0.16 or 0.12, but it's been a cumulative approach about what they've actually built in the ecosystem, in terms of what they've brought in, where they're at right now, and where they're going to be in 6 months, a year, etc. And so just looking at like the big picture and plugging in like all these different ecosystems into EMP and how they're going to bring value and what that means to you as an owner of the protocol, I think to take that step back instead of just focusing on that one little APR at that moment in time, but really, what do you call it, that 30,000 foot view or whatever, but just looking back at the whole, your whole experience here, and what that actually really means, instead of just focusing on that APR right at this exact second.
Yeah, no doubt, Bull. I mean, again, it's something that we talk about a lot, but we're going to continue to drive home. Our APRs, they are variable, and that's what makes EMP so different and sustainable. But to Bull's point, APR can be misleading because, again, if and when the yields go back up, specifically the price of eShare, as that goes up, that increases the APR. And so if the APR is also retroactive, meaning if the price of eShare becomes higher and stays higher, then essentially all the eShare that you earned while APRs were lower is at current value when it goes back up. So again, to Bo's point, it is much easier and a little more fruitful when you do the math based on how long you've been in the protocol. And again, I mean, everything is down. We're in the middle of a bear market, and that's something that I was going to end on, but we can get into it a little bit right now. I mean, we could see this bear market continue, for another year. And I don't know, a lot of us don't want to hear that. A lot of us don't even want to think about that. We hope that the next bull cycle is right around the corner, but the reality is that it could be another year. And so we have to just prepare ourselves for that. And the beautiful thing about EMP is that through all the incentives and through everything that we're building, we can maintain during a bear market, and we've already proven that as we've been able to survive when literally 99% of other protocols have failed. We just have to get through the depths of the bear. All of you again continue to accumulate. That's not financial advice. Again, nobody ever should be investing more than they can afford to lose. You don't want to be betting your rent money on DeFi protocols. I mean, this is cutting edge DeFi, and we're doing everything we can to make things, profitable, and we feel that it will be, especially when the prices do recover. I mean, again, building a foundation now is an amazing way to capitalize when the markets return, and that is when you really want to be focused on taking profit. When you're selling EMP every day at the bottom, it really not only hurts yourself, but also hurts, the protocol. So really, again, and all this is just not financial advice. This is just me, giving personal insight on what I've learned, being in crypto for the last 5.5 years, but well, 7 years, but 5 years full time. So yeah, and I think a lot of you are on the same page. It's just something that we try to go over again and again in all the AMAs. So yeah, and I did see a question about Up. Again, we'll do questions at the end, but before I forgot, oh, so it was basically saying, the team for Up Finance seems to be a bit quiet. So yeah, I mean, I had a meeting with them today. You got to realize, Up EMP was the very first partnership that they ever did. So they're ramping up their own marketing, which will hopefully bleed over into Up EMP. They're working on more straightforward user interfaces for minting and redeeming. Eventually, we'll integrate that into our website as well, so it makes it super clear on minting and redeeming your EMP for Up EMP. And so, yeah, this is all like the very, very beginning stages of all that. And it will be ramping up both from us and from them, as well as other use cases. Because again, these Up tokens they survive and thrive on volume. So if there's not a lot of buying and selling volume, then they kind of stagnate. But we have solutions for volume. I mean, Detonator as a service would be a perfect fit. A lot of other incentivized vaults or farms that we can incentivize people to go into. I mean, there's a ton of ways that we can provide volume to these tokens, and that is what the focus will be moving forward. So yeah, all right, cool. LA, anything you want to add about Up before we move on?
No, I think you guys nailed it.
All right, awesome. So, all right, the other big announcement, which we made about 3 days ago now, I guess, is the Power Up NFTs are live and producing. So really exciting stuff. We did a full announcement in all of our socials, and we had said from the very beginning we had a conservative estimate between 50 and 100% APR, and that alone, again, within the first 4 days, I guess, of paying out, has actually been right at 100, if not a little bit higher than 1%, 100% APR. So that's super promising. Again, that's with the EMP price and the overall ecosystem being down in terms of dollar value as well. So these Power Up NFTs could be extremely valuable moving forward, and they're literally printing you Ethereum. So if you're overwhelmed by EMP, you don't want the headache of managing it yourself, or maybe you get stressed out, with the volatility. A Power Up is literally an investment into the success of EMP, and in turn, you're rewarded with that ETH. So things have been going really well. Again, the website is PowerUp. That's POWRUP.EMP.Money, and that is the same URL that you claimed from, or that you, I'm sorry, that you purchased from, will also now be the claim page. So you have to connect your wallet. Remember, it's on Ethereum mainnet, and that's why it's a completely separate website. So we will be having the direct link on the EMP website itself, but it will open a new window and you will have to connect separately because, again, with smart contracts, the chains do not play well with each other. So you literally have to switch your network and reconnect your wallet to access that. So, and we have a ton of stuff coming on Ethereum mainnet too, as far as future partnerships. Again, I had another phone call today with another potential NFT marketplace that is interested in listing both PowerUp and Sentinel and Defender. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming with these NFTs, and those of you that have them are as of right now, there's no additional mint planned. So the only way to get them is to buy them, and if nobody's willing to sell them, it can get expensive fast. So we will be continuing to support the floor price with all the royalties from PowerUp, and it's going to be again another great example of how not only are we coming up with innovative ways to utilize capital, but we're always over delivering on what we try to set out with. So yeah, I'm really excited for power ups, and I think everybody seeing the rewards go live and being able to claim may have a whole nother round of interest in power up. So yeah, all right, awesome. Bull or LA, anything you want to elaborate on Power Up, or if anybody has a question on Power Up specifically in the comments before I move on? But yeah,
If you could just go over the fact that because the funds are invested in our ecosystem, they will be variable. If you can kind of just touch on that.
totally. So again, we've been vague on purpose. We've always said that even before the sale went live. We're not really specifying how exactly how we're generating yield, but you can be rest assured that it's all through the EMP ecosystem. So we have a position in nodes. I know some of you have seen the nodes contract um, increase. We have a position in reactor, detonator, the farms. I mean, we're all over the place with those funds. And again, those funds are being used to, over the next, again, it's not all at once either. Some are in reserve still that we'll be adding more to. And the idea is that not only do we want to not be front run by potential bad actors that know what we're going to do with those funds, but it's also to see where the best yield is at the particular time. So again, the idea is that we use all the funds collected to go into the EMP ecosystem through a series of smart contracts that then produce the yield that is then bridged back over to Ethereum mainnet. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and as LA said, it is variable. So that 100% APR, it may not last a full year, or it may get better. I mean, if the price of ETH and EMP and eShare all go up over the next year, it could potentially be even more than 100% APR. So again, we've been really careful on saying what it is because it is variable, and again, there's always that one person that says, "Oh, well, you said this, and now it's that," and can create potential FUD. But there's nothing that we can do to manipulate that. It is what it is, and we just are able to provide yield. And back to what I've always said, any yield is good yield. And so again, if you're not happy with rewards on any of the NFTs, um, you can list them, and that's the beauty of having NFTs is that you can get out of your position without hurting the protocol at all, and we'll always be doing buybacks from the floor prices through the treasury itself. And I know a lot of community members as well have been picking up, discounted Sentinels uh, specifically over the last few days. And again, there's only a certain amount of those in circulation. So the more that you accumulate, eventually the floor just rises because, everybody's not willing to sell them. And those that believe in EMP over the long run um, are going to make out much more because, again, as eShare goes up and as the price of EMP goes up, so do the rewards. So it's a beautiful system, and we're excited, of implementing this. And that's why we had to get all this out on the table before the end of the year because it is so beneficial to the ecosystem. And now, all that development is done, and we can focus on eShares and the final form. So, and speaking of that, we are the next major priority is extending eShare emissions. We'll work on an update for all of you, but that should be done on or around January 15th. So we have a dev meeting tomorrow that will have a lot more clear deadline on that. So yeah, was that it about Power Up LA or anything else, Bull? You want to clarify?
And just to let you guys know, there are currently the two marketplaces where you can purchase them. On the claim page, if you press the Buy Now button, it will take you to the OpenSea page, and then they're also available on NF Trade.
Perfect, yes. And then on NF Trade specifically, all the actual contracts that are verified have a blue check mark. So again, if there's a ton of copycat NFTs out there, so do not get scammed. Again, make sure you're following the specific links that we're posting, or if you need help, make sure one of the admins responds to you with the proper link and always double check before you actually buy them. But you should be able to tell based on the volume, on how much volume there is. But again, if you're not as savvy with that, then it can be difficult to know what the real NFT is. So don't get scammed, and make sure you are following the links. And like LA said, on the Power Up page, at the very top, there is big letters that say "Buy Now," and that will take you to the official link on OpenSea. So that's a great way. And then again, Sentinel has another button that takes us to the official page on NF Trade, and then Defenders will as well when that's live. So we'll talk about that next. But all
And
right,
then
go ahead.
if you do see a fake collection, what you can do is there's 3 buttons in the top right, and you just click on them and you just press the button that says report, and you can, I think it says like copycat collection or something along those lines. I forget exactly what it says, but it'll give you a few options and you just choose that option. Unfortunately for Power Up, there's an option to like choose which collection it's copycatting, but they named them all the exact same thing, so it's impossible to pick the right one on their list. So I just left that blank when reporting it, but you can report it without choosing one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great point, LA. And yeah, I mean, we rely on the community to help us police that as well. So yeah, absolutely. And Vino asked a question about Power Up again before we move on. He said, will deployed funds for Power Up be used primarily or only in liquid investments in EMP? Or example, not detonator or DAS contracts. So yeah, the primary yield generation is through liquid. Again, the farm, we have a big position in the farm, and again, utilizing nodes the proper way to build LPs. So that's where that injection came from. But yeah, I mean, we are definitely going into reactor and detonator as well, but we're kind of scaling in to that just based on trying to maximize the yield. So the short answer is all of the above. I'm sorry, the short answer is yes, mainly liquid. The long answer is all of the above. So hopefully that helps. And again, maybe there's a new contract that is really in part of the EMP ecosystem that is yielding extremely well. We do have some funds held back to be able to go into that. So again, it's just a matter of maximizing how we utilize the protocol. So, and again, everything that we do is not only beneficial to the power upholders, but also to the protocol overall. So that's why it's again such a win-win situation with these NFTs. So, all right, I think that's it for power up. Anything else, Bull or LA?
Nope.
All right, awesome. So the next thing is defenders, detonator defenders. I know all of you have been real antsy on this, and I get it. We're trying to get this out as soon as possible. Again, utilizing the multiple wallets and having the added benefit of lottery winners has been a little bit tricky. So we never want to launch something that we haven't back tested and can really come together. The holidays again, there's only so much time in the day that Jake and our contractors can work. So we're getting them out as soon as we can. Again, we're hoping for maybe tomorrow. I said by the end of the week, hopefully tomorrow or this weekend. But there could be even a little more delays. I hope that that doesn't happen. But anything that we do, we have to make sure we do it right. And so again, just bear with us. And even if there is delays, we may be able to actually credit the actual earnings like we did with Power Up. Again, even though the contract wasn't officially live, we were still earning rewards. So, there could be a backlog of rewards that you're getting from that 14-day window that we said after launch. So, code is hard. And, obviously we want it out sooner than later, but it will be. And again, I mean, rewards should be on par with everything that we've said, and make them valuable as we go. I know even now, a lot of people are waiting for rewards to kick in, and there's not a lot of defenders even available. So, I think, and the mint was so much less as well. So those of you that do have defenders, not only is it, utility based, but now you actually have a lot more ownership of the total supply, even if you only have one or two, because we minted a lot less of those. So again, we're all working behind the scenes as hard as we can to get rewards out and live. The UI is pretty much done. Again, it's a very similar copy from what the Sentinel claim page looks like. The issue is with the, again, smart contract and the multiple wallets being able to have credit for up to 250 lottery tickets. So we just want to make sure that we back test all that before we go live. So, and again, I mean, in hindsight, trying to do 3 different mints in the last, 2 months of the year and people being with family. I mean, again, it's a lot going on at the moment, and we're trying to get it out. So hopefully that helps. I'm happy to answer any other questions about that. But Bull or LA, anything you want to elaborate on for defenders?
You're doing too good of a job. It's hard to add.
All right, well, no, that's good. I want to give you guys an opportunity because I don't know if I forget something or maybe I'm rambling and you're trying to. I don't want to talk over anybody. So yeah, all right, cool. Bull, anything you want to add? Again, you always have your infinite words of wisdom.
Well, I hope everybody had a good Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. That's some infinite words of wisdom. Yeah, Totally, we did, Bull. We hope you did too. Did you freeze? I forgot to ask you that. It was like -40, I think, right? Where you were with the wind chill. Hopefully you're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
an ice pop. Yeah.
it's bizarre here sometimes. We get these rainstorms, you know, in the beginning of winter, the middle of winter sometimes, and then we have like a week of like just Arctic type of temperatures, like 10 below, and so it's like driving around like on a frozen lake everywhere here, and that's the most aggravating thing because my town is full of bad drivers already. I'm an incredible driver. Everybody else is bad, but it gets to be very aggravating because people are running lights and sliding through the intersection, and it continues until that weather breaks and we get some sun and those roads get clear. But yeah, nothing major here happened in terms of me freezing to death or anything like that. I think we've all taken a little bit of a rest, but still. It's not like we turned our computer off and haven't turned it back on. We've been on the phone, talking to people, doing things, like you said, you would talk to Up today. And
Totally.
there's, always something to do, right? Like, I do try to encourage people like to always, make crypto friends, get involved with crypto because it's incredibly rewarding, but it's not easy. And when I think onto this a little bit, I always remember like so there's Ryan from SafeMoon. What he says is that everybody can copy, but very few can execute. And so that's something to really look at. And I was talking to some people from EMP today, and that's what I was kind of trying to drive home, that there is no real barrier to entry in crypto, and that's what makes it so powerful. Is that you can come in with a completely fresh perspective, a lot of enthusiasm, maybe even not a lot of money, and you can do really well here because so many people really just copy and paste, and that's great. Like if you're from an investor side, right? If you are copying and pasting something that's successful, but by and large, like my personal opinion is I see a lot of copying and pasting in DeFi, and like copy and paste failure, right? Because people just copy and paste, and they put a different name on it, a different polish on it, and it looks different, but it's the same project. And I often question why people like don't see that it's the same project. It's not necessarily the same team, the same developers, whatever, but it's the same project that failed last month, and they rush off to it, and they get wrecked, and so they have to learn a few hard lessons before they start digging in a little bit deeper and stop the copy and paste. And copy and paste is like, it's really good, right? Like for that person that invented that wheel, but you can't copy and paste everything. And so what I'm trying to get at is that that the great thing here is that low barrier to entry, but don't let that fool you and think that it's easy to be successful. You can 100x overnight. I'm glad if you can. But it takes a lot of work, dedication, enthusiasm, talking to people, even a lot of failure in regards. And, I'll just point out that a lot of people call things that fail scams and rug pulls. And, by and large, like that's not really the case. And so, but we as investors too need to be savvier so that we don't keep going into copy and paste projects and failing, continuously and wondering why. It's, if you have the same algorithm and you plug in, a 1 or a 2 or the different number, you're going to get that same result of failure. And so, don't let that low barrier to entry fool you into thinking you don't have to do anything. You do. You have to do your due diligence. Don't listen to people when they say do your own research and think that you can watch that YouTube video and be successful. You actually have to do research. you actually have to make your own choices. When we have to say this is not financial advice, that should be obvious. It's not. Nobody can advise you about your situation, but speaking generically, we do need to be more diligent. We need to make better choices. You need to actually do research so that you can become a better investor and make DeFi a better place.
Yeah, no doubt, Bull. I love it, man. Again, I knew you were gonna get there on one of your rants of all your crypto knowledge, and it's true,
I
bro.
don't even know how that started out. Like truly, like what was I talking about? The weather? I
Yeah,
don't know. The
yeah,
roads?
you being a popsicle. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't want anything to happen to Bull. That would be not a good situation. So yeah, no, I love it, and you're 100% right, Bull. I mean, again, I think everybody gets kind of immune to that statement of not financial advice or do your own research. But the sad reality is that the vast majority of people don't do their own research. And then that's when you do get the lines crossed of a failed project or just a straight out scam or rug pull, but we're trying to change all that here at EMP. I mean, another amazing example, which again, I hope a lot of you didn't get burned in, but I know some of you probably did, is Stable Fund. I mean, they tried to do a version 2, and now they've come out and said that, they can't make it happen. So, and it really is frustrating when you read, these postmortems from other developers that say, because of market conditions or, because of not having the resources or because of just not, that they've dedicated their lives to this project. Like that kind of shit just makes me crazy because all of us, we don't have that excuse at EMP. Bull, LA, Jake, the entire team, like the community, like all of us are busting our asses, to make EMP sustainable. And that's not, we never have expectation of profit from the work of others. I mean, we're not managing anybody's funds for them. This is all code on the internet that all of you have to participate in. But obviously, as a team member and a team lead and a community, we do things to help our bags, and it's just so frustrating to see, other developers basically give up and cop out, um, and lose millions and millions of dollars when, they don't want to try anymore. So it is sad. Again, hopefully that's just another, feather in our cap at EMP, that we aren't failing. And, again, yes, is peg down? Absolutely. Our APRs down? Absolutely. But we're going to continue to drive, this ship forward, and we'll get there at some point. It could be a month, it could be another year, but I think that we're doing everything we can to have a brighter future. And a lot of that comes with version or our final form. I know Bull has been getting on me every day. Hopefully, the first week of January, we'll release the name and maybe a little bit of info on what it's going to be. But we're excited. Again, fundamentally, not a lot changes. But as far as sustainability and added value to EMP and eShare, it's going to be revolutionary. So we're excited. Bull, I know you keep trying to get me to release the alpha, but what soon, right?
Oh, did you want me to throw a fastball at your head again today?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, please.
or a snowball, I guess.
Yeah.
Snowball. No, man. Like I think everybody is going to be, really, really happy because there's a term that you said in the past that I really liked was, taking EMP. Is this better? Taking EMP from, a crypto project to a crypto business, because I like that because like it's a bigger vision, right? Like, when you look at like like American inventors, if you will, or anybody like that, building something in their garage, that workshop, right? And coming up with something like, you heard about like Apple, like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, right? And looking at that and saying like, how do you take crypto to a business. How do you? Because so I was talking to somebody about this today, and they had watched like the Chuck E. Cheese video that I had made, that Chuck E. Cheese is like crypto is like Chuck E. Cheese. And I actually have some more to that now. And, because we hear this a lot, like, what's the product in crypto, right? What is the product? And it's hard to explain to people what it is, but, it's an investment in something for future gain. And, to kind of simply put it, and in crypto, you're coming at like business development in a different way than you would a physical business. A physical business, is going to sell product or service to somebody, but here, we're actually, collecting that seed money, if you will, to build this thing to reward you like in the future. You can take rewards now, you can take some now and some later, etc. But I think the whole point is that building towards a crypto business that creates a product and a service. And we've seen that already, obviously, right, with Detonator as a service specifically. And I looked at that, and and I was thinking about that Chuck E. Cheese example and thought, like, how much opportunity like is sort of wasted like in a traditional physical business, in the sense that how interested would you be, like, for instance, if you went into like a Chuck E. Cheese, and every dollar that you put in the machine, that was an investment in the company, instead of buying their stock, that you could literally go in and for every amount of money that you put into a particular machine, you got a paycheck like at the end of the week based on what other people had put in. And, you'd have to calculate all the losses and expenses and all that stuff. But how quickly could an IRL business grow if it developed crypto like principles in terms of like ownership of like other people? And I know traditionally, like stocks are the vehicle to invest in a company, but I think there might be a missed opportunity IRL, like where if you ever heard the story of how Amazon started with Jeff Bezos soliciting people, it doesn't sound a whole lot different than a community investing in an idea to build something. And I think there's some marriage in there, and like I know with like what's being worked on here in the the final form, maybe I'll tell them the name, and looking at that and thinking, yeah, like truly, like I think so many crypto projects have missed the boat about what they're actually offering, and what crypto is actually all about, and what is the way to take it to the next level. And I just see like so many amazing principles that exist in crypto for that idea of ownership of something like that you're really interested in. I mean, how amazing would it be to go into an IRL business like a restaurant and be able to order food, and then that investment in that meal actually, rewards you something at the end for doing it. Like, I think that's the real power of crypto. And like, like I understand like some of those things can't work IRL, but just in seeing like what can be done in crypto, like I'm really excited about the future, because I love the idea of taking it from a crypto project to a crypto business.
For sure, Bull. I mean, God, I can't. Everything, I couldn't say it any better, man. And that, once I think people understand that vision, and that's what really drew me to crypto in the first place, is allowing things that are not able to happen in the real world or IRL, and especially, financial models. And EMP is a perfect example of that. Having a closed loop economy is extremely difficult in the real world. Not only unless you live on a compound or, some sort of cult, where you force everybody to transact in whatever currency you make up. But I mean, that again, the whole premise, of what crypto allows is really what gets me bullish. And it's when people FUD and get we go on crypto Twitter and the sky is falling and crypto is dead. Like anything that the proof is in the pudding. Like the fact that we're able to accomplish so much through decentralization, crypto, the public ledger, blockchain technology. I mean, all of that is revolutionary. And if you don't see, how that has a permanent, is a permanent fixture in the world as we know it, then you're probably not in crypto for the right reason. So
You don't need, but you don't even need to be like to see it. Like if
for
you
sure,
want to see that principle in action, think about what democracies have brought to the development of the world. Prior to democracies, what was there in terms of ownership, like of like where you were at, like land, the freedom to choose things, the ability to educate yourself. Those ideas didn't exist, and if you look at just the idea of democratization, that's what crypto is. It's a democratization of ownership. um, you own what you put in, right? And you're rewarded proportional to your ownership. And so it's not that somebody was gifted, like the problem I have with some of the bigger blockchains where 50% or more is owned by 10 people.
for sure.
That's like an aristocracy. Sorry, bros, like it is. And if you look at all these smaller platforms and, 50,000 users, 10,000 users, whatever it is, and they own a small little piece, we've already seen, and it's not to say that democracies are perfect. They're not. But the idea that you actually get to own and see the profit of what you own, like, is a really powerful motivating factor for people. And that's what increases productivity. It increases like ingenuity and development and like I hesitate to say safety, but like all of those things go with hand in hand with the ability to educate yourself and develop and see true ownership, like truly reap the benefit of you owning something. And that's what crypto gives you, and no other thing can really make that claim. Like so friendship, relationships, those things all create the same similar things of value. But in terms of financial measurement, nothing can touch crypto in terms of the democratization of ownership and the reward that it can bring you.
Yeah, 100%. That's a mic drop moment for Bull. So yeah, and on that note, we have a few more last minute items, and then yeah, we can wrap it up. I know, man, we've already been going for almost an hour. That's crazy. I know, again, not doing these AMAs, you forget how much you miss them. So I always love jumping on with you, Bull, LA, the whole community. This is what it's all about. So all right, the last few updates are Magic World. Again, we had an amazing AMA with the Magic World team. Owen specifically jumped on, gave us some, live footage of the game and working. They have a live working game. We are doing their mint with them as we speak. It's live. The links again are in all of our socials. You can go back and look at the pinned messages in both Telegram and Discord for the direct links. We've minted about 40 of their NFTs. I'd like to see a little more support from the EMP emperors and empresses. So over the next few days, when you learn a little bit more about their protocol, again, I think it's ripe for the taking. Even if you're not into games, those NFTs will also be stakeable in their platform, which again, for those that don't want to play, can probably earn through that as well. We are on the ground floor with this. They have a lot of awesome ideas. And again, I mean, implementation, like Bull said earlier, ideas are a dime a dozen, but it's implementation that counts. Well, I think that the Magic team can actually implement everything that they want to do. So I had a great conversation with Owen again today, and so we'll have them back on for an AMA again as they get closer to actually having, I mean, they have a working product, but to actually have, the potential to earn and onboarding new users, over the next few weeks and months with them, it's going to be exciting. And again, I mean, all of that will eventually lead to another use case and potential burn mechanism on EMP itself, because uh, by buying the NFT, again, make sure you're using our link. It's actually, EMP's own faction or guild, where again we represent, a part of that game, and by being part of the EMP faction, not only do you get special items and other bonuses, but we can work together on maximizing our profits in that game. So again, just like with Splinterlands, for those of you that are in Splinterlands, we have our own guild over there as well, and we're able to work together every few days. They have a big brawl, and you submit your teams, and then you're able to earn merits, which is another form of currency in that ecosystem. So again, not only are we able to get involved in these other platforms, but we're able to do it in a way that also helps, support those of us that are in the EMP ecosystem and bringing profits back home. So, yeah, hopefully that answers that. Again, we'll have a follow-up AMA with them, Magic World, but go look at our past videos for some footage on what it is and the link on where to mint. So, and then I also saw somebody post there has been some strange volume on the EMP charts, and I think what's happening is basically tax loss harvesting. So we talked about this a little bit on the AMA we did with Neil, the tax advisor. Again, go watch that AMA. There's like 3 different AMAs that you make sure you need to watch over the last week that we've done. Um, but I see a lot of people selling EMP, but then buying it right back. And so by doing that, you're able to lock in a potential loss that you could write off, up to 3 years in the future or in the rear. But then by buying right back, um, you're not hurting PEG or the overall price of EMP. So again, there may be some kind of odd volume on the charts. It's another reason why we say, don't stare at the charts all day, because sometimes it can be misleading. But yeah, that's what I think is happening. But really, I mean, we've seen a lot of the volume, the selling volume die off. I mean, we've been holding around this 0.4142 range really, really well. So, and again, as we put out more use cases and the actual revenue streams start compounding and kicking in more and more, that's just more and more buying pressure on EMP itself. So, all right, I think that is everything. Buller LA, any final things that I didn't get to, or any questions in the comments that I didn't answer? I think I went through them as we were going, so I think I got to everything. But yeah, let me know.
Think I'm good, bro. I've said my piece.
And I'll just give you guys a little update. I've been working on building out our new merch store over the last few days.
All right, I didn't want to
So
put you on the spot, LA, but yeah, I was gonna end with that. So yeah, tell us, is it coming together? Yeah.
yeah, it's coming along really well. I did have to email into the platform today because I reached the maximum number of designs and it's not enough because we have 13 designs like that we want to do, and it's only letting me have 10 so far. So I have to get them to allow me to add more and a couple other things to kind of customize it. So I'm just going to wait for them to get back to me on a few of those loose ends. But in the meantime, I'm just finishing off everything that it's allowing me to do, and we're putting the finishing touches on that. So it's coming along well, and I'll keep you guys updated when we hop on our next AMA.
Amazing. Yeah, I know everybody's been really excited for the merch to return. And yeah, I mean, we'll be doing different collections. I know, I'm reading David's comment. He said we need EMP shirts for the dogs. So yeah, we'll definitely look into that. I know a lot of the print
Oh my
on,
God,
yeah,
that would be
yeah,
amazing.
no doubt, right,
Great
LA?
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be servicing all yeah all makes and models of
Man
apparel.
and best
Yeah,
friend.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and maybe cats too, right? I know I heard your cat earlier. She I think she wants a shirt as well.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
yeah. So
Or
yeah,
just little bandanas like they put on after the groomer.
yeah, totally. Totally. I love it. So yeah, all right, no doubt. And we will be doing again, always appreciate feedback from all of you. If there's specific, t-shirts or I know a big thing was coffee mugs on the original merch launch. We just were trying to find, a supplier that wasn't, $40 for a coffee mug. So there is a bunch of kinks that we work out. But yeah, overall that will be another big goal in 2023. And again, another revenue stream because with that merch sales, a portion of those proceeds go to buying back EMP as well. So everything we do, we integrate a way to support the ecosystem overall. So yeah, again, we said it all along, leading up to the end of the year, but 2023 will be a really big year at EMP. Even if we are maintaining a prolonged bear market, I think that we will see a lot of uh, good things happening here at EMP. So, all right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up. I don't see any other questions. I feel like we got through a lot. Again, I know a lot of you are anti with Detonator Defenders. We will get it out ASAP. I'll release an update, even though we won't have an AMA tomorrow or New Year's Eve. I will do an update if I have one in text. So make sure you're following all of our socials, Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, and we'll keep you up to date on all that. So, all right, awesome. Then that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Bull LA, always a pleasure. Happy to be back after a little bit of a break. But we never get a full break here at EMP. We're always, again, trying to move things forward. But all right, awesome, guys. Thanks again. Much love to all of you, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Good night. Good day. We'll see you soon.